Great. All set to go?
Yes.
Okay, good evening. I'd like to call a meeting of August 8th, 2024 to order. The time is now 7:14. I apologize, we had some technical difficulties with our smart board. If we could all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. A moment of silence, please, for all that have gone before us. Thank you. All right, attendance. Approval of prior meeting minutes for June 12th, 2024.
I'll make a motion, we accept them as presented.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Public participation for the first time. Anybody online, Nico, we just let us know when anybody from the public like to speak. Nobody online? No. Anybody? Once, twice? Thank you. Communications.
Communications this month, for the month of July, from Chief Tromer on the incidents, and I believe in my seeing that we're already off to a rousing start for the beginning of the year. 82 calls already for the month of July, so I have a feeling that it's going to be a very busy year. Chief Regina's monthly report. I know that we are hosting a fire and service instructors class in the Pulaski room. I've reviewed all of the training section, and thank you, Chief Regina. Unfortunately, we can't recognize anybody because nobody graduated from anything in the month of July. And this incident, the non-incident event history, here again, another outstanding month put on by the department. 286 members attended drills using 437 man hours for the month. So, with that, DJ, Fire Marshal's monthly report to the commission. You guys are stepping up your workload with what you're dealing with. And I know that obviously, the biggest event for July was the extravaganza, and I like the fact that we had no major incidents this year, so.
We did. We had the ride, and then we had the fire the same day.
Well, yeah, but
How's the cooperation with the amusement park owner rides in the fire marshal's office? Are they?
We don't really do anything unless there's an issue. The state comes in and does the ride inspections pre-opening, so we only had to deal with the one issue. But
Okay, that was the swing ride.
the swings, yeah.
And what was that, recorded by a citizen to you guys, or?
Craig called me, so I don't know who actually reported it.
I was there when it happened. One of the patrons' aunts came over to us at the fire booth and said that the ride's not stopping. It's been 10 to 12 minutes. And then we all went over.
Really?
And then the lady was just sitting there. She said, my supervisor's on his way. And then he came.
So
He
somebody
opened the
really got
pan.
their money's worth, huh?
Yep.
Wow,
I was more afraid for the kids getting nauseous when they got off, but they all seemed fine.
okay. No one, no after render rate or anything?
Nope, EMS didn't have to render aid or anything.
Okay,
DJ, quick question for you.
Mhm.
You have a, student from CCSU
Yeah,
as an intern?
there, she wants to come in.
Oh, she wants to come.
Yeah, she wants to start at the end of the month. It's
Oh, okay.
actually a semester long. It's a class,
Yeah, yeah, that she has to take.
but instead of meeting, they have like 6 classroom sessions, and the rest is an internship throughout throughout the semester. So,
can bring that up under. But,
Well, that's on his report, so I just wanted,
okay.
I just wanted to.
Is that all the reports you have, Frank?
No.
I'll make a motion that we approve the report
Ready?
as presented.
No, there's a couple more.
Nope, there's no more. We're good.
Oh, okay, great. All in favor of communication monthly reports?
All right,
All right, unanimous, thank you. Promotions. You take that, Commissioner Steiner?
No, what are we doing?
Promotions.
Oh, you're talking about Captain Company 3, Captain Company 1?
Yeah,
yes.
I can read them.
First lieutenants and, go ahead.
I'd like to congratulate, Tim Jones, for all of his years of service as captain of Company 3. Due to personal reasons, he has decided to step down, and effective, that was as of July 30th, Austin Muir has taken over as captain of Company 3, and Chris Ferry has been up to first lieutenant. There is no word as of this time who's gonna fill in the lieutenant spot, but I congratulate them all. I wish Tim the best, and Austin, best of luck at Company 3. Thank you. Eric Lundeen, I'd like to wish him the best also. He has decided to step down as captain of Company 1 due to personal issues. Kurt Roseman has stepped up to be captain of Company 1. I know Kurt, I know you'll do a wonderful job. And Eric, thank you for your many, many years of dedicated service to Company 1. Eric is not leaving us. He's going to stay on as a firefighter. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Isn't it first lieutenant changed?
So I did not state that on here, but Sal Garofalo was promoted to first lieutenant.
So does that make Company 1 the Enterprise? Captain Kirk?
Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk.
Kirk, you knew
Not
that.
giving anybody up.
You knew that that was coming. Are you gonna request a new phaser?
Just for you, Joe. I have, if I received one correspondence in the mail, thank you letter on behalf of the officers and members of Newington Veterans Firefighters Association. Would like to express our sincere gratitude to a generous contribution to our 24 golf tournament. This year's 2024 marks the 71st anniversary of the founding of our organization, which is made up of veterans and active fire personnel. The funds raised by this tournament help support our organization throughout the year, including our annual donation to the Newington Human Services Department and our yearly scholarship to the Newington High School seniors interested in public safety service. We hope that we can count on your support next year. Just to make the record clear, this was a donation from the 3 commissioners personally, and no town funds were used for that. And I just wanted to make that, add that into our communications thing. Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on, ledger status.
I quickly reviewed the ledger status and don't find any issues. Do you have any issues?
Don't have any issues. We should have some money since we just started, we're only a month into the new budget.
I'll make a motion that we approve it as presented.
I'll second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Also, thank you, DJ, because we also got yours too, so thank you. Okay, old business, moving on, radio system update.
So As of Tuesday, we're still in a stall pattern with Norcom and CTS approving the code plug. Once that code plug or template is approved, everything can move forward. Right now, everything's in basically a stall pattern. There's nothing that can be done until that's approved. It's been, I believe, 5 to 6 weeks that now we're waiting on this, and we're at the mercy of them at this point. And it's the whole town. It's not just the fire department, it's the entire town. So, once we get that approved, hopefully it'll be fast forward. Also, just so everybody's aware, we did have a failure up at the Callahan site. The antenna got struck by lightning. That actually split the antenna in half. They did go up and replace it the following day. Everything's back up and running. But again, we're on borrowed time. So every once in a while you hear the town switching powers, and it's because they're getting some interference from other areas. We're trying to establish seems like it's more in the morning and it goes away during the day. So they're trying to go back and forth. It's been stable over the last couple of days, so just hopefully we cross our fingers. But it's in progress. Yes, sir.
Is there?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Can you, or would you give us a quick update, to the last email that you sent regarding negotiations with,
Yes, we did sit down with Amber and Cindy Callahan to discuss the Callahan Tower. It's in, obviously, we talked about what the town's looking to do. They had to go back and talk about it, and hopefully they seem like very positive. They don't want to see the tower go away. Obviously, we're just trying to find a happy medium between everybody. And the town's in negotiations with them now, and they're supposed to get back to us at their earliest convenience. So,
Is there anything the commission can do to move this radio system along, write a letter?
wish you could, but no, there's
Nothing we
nothing
can do.
anybody can do.
Nothing.
Unfortunately, until this gets approved, and this is the key for programming of all the radios. And once that happens, then it can just fast forward and then everything gets programmed. We still have not, on the fire department side, been able to test our radios because our code plug was never right from day one. So we saw the 2-week period that we still have to test, but hopefully we can move fast forward once that gets done. But yeah, everything's on hold.
All right. If there's anything we can do as a commission to support you guys with this, just let us know.
Yeah, it's the whole town, unfortunately.
Grant.
I'll speak on behalf of Tommy. Tommy's in the other room. There's really, oh, there he is.
No, we have no news as of today.
Okay, thank you.
I did actually log on the site and it sounds like, it appears that they're just starting to award now. So
Right. Okay, thank you. More to come. Billing for call update. The third party biller.
It's all set up. Marty's been sending the information over. And I know he's in the process of doing it. So
Okay.
I don't know financially what's come back yet, because it's their first month really.
But started July 1st
That's correct. Yep.
and it's all up and running and
It's up and running, ready to go. Yep.
excellent. That's great. That's long time in the making, and the town council helped approve that, and that's good. We get some money back into the fire department. Thank you. Sale of old engine 1.
So old engine one has been sold. It's actually already been delivered to the new owners in Pennsylvania. It's it's actually going to be used as a hydro seeder / water truck for a must be a landscaper of some sort. But yeah, it was sold for I believe it was $9,000. And that Hermes is taking care of the paperwork and everything on that.
Okay.
The market value is hit or miss with those. It depends if you hit it just right. Sometimes you get more or less, but we felt that this was the best price for us.
Freed up some space.
Yep.
Thank you. So we can take that off for. Thank you. Space needs, company 3 and 4.
Right now,
Business.
I obviously did send that over to the mayor, town manager, to discuss the space needs of the department in general, every firehouse, everything we have for the next 5 years, basically spelled it out. You know, the biggest thing we really need to look at, and I know it's been discussions through the town manager's office and elsewhere, is West Hill Road. That's crucial for us to make sure that we keep that property or be able to purchase that property, because that will help us with the expansion of Company 3's. If we don't get that property, it will kind of hinder us a little bit. So, when the new town manager comes, I think that's a discussion that we have to have
Mhm.
and really get that ramped up.
Great. Yeah, with the new town manager starting on Monday, just so everybody knows, I did invite him to the meeting tonight. He is in the process of moving down here to start his position on Monday. I have met him. Few of the chiefs have met him. Seems like a very, very nice gentleman, and I think he's going to be a great fit for the town of Newington. And hopefully we can get him at September's meeting to introduce all the firefighters. I think it's very important that the town manager knows his people and knows his fire department. And I'm gonna wish him well. He's got some big shoes to fill with our past town managers, and I'm sure he'll do a great job. All right, moving on to the new business. Well, I could have put this under counselor's comments, but I just wanted to personally, to have the commission personally thank Timmy LaPierre. He's leaving his position as our fire mechanic through the town. Timmy has been there for us for a long time. He has come out in the middle of the night to fix our trucks. He's come out on Christmases and birthdays and New Year's and whenever we called him, he was there for us. So I want to wish him the best in his new endeavors. We'll still see him around. But Timmy, thank you if you're watching this, and best of luck. I know it's probably a decision you had to make that's best for you and your family, but we appreciate everything you did for the last 10 years as a mechanic for the fire department. Thank you very much. Commissioners, would you like to comment on that also?
I concur.
Yeah.
You've done a good job.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
All right. Moving on. Take action. An appointment of per diem part-time fire inspectors in the fire marshal's office. DJ. Let's have some info.
So we had fire inspector Mike Coloni resign, and we posted for the position. We had 5 applicants. We interviewed 4, because 4 of them met the minimum qualifications.
The 5th did not meet the qualifications.
Correct.
Okay.
So we did a round of interviews. It was with 3 fire marshals, 3 of the staff members. And then we were going to do a second round of interviews, and we've received some information, and it was all dependent. It was all pertaining to availability. One candidate received a new offer for a full-time job, which is going to take him kind of out of the office Monday through Friday until early December. Another candidate is going to class, which will ultimately help us. And a third candidate is, has a full-time day job. So he was very upfront about saying, I can do some nights and weekends. So my request is that because it doesn't really cost us anything other than the hours that the per diem staff work, I would like to request that the commission consider bringing on 3 per diem staff and appointing them. So it basically just increases our role or our pool that we can pull from.
The 4th candidate.
the fourth candidate, we are gonna create a certified list. But I don't think, and all the candidates were good. You know,
All qualified.
all qualified. The fourth, I don't necessarily want to overload the office. And I have to manage the hours that each staff member can work, because they're not assigned hours. Basically, as the year progresses, we evaluate how many hours are available from what's originally allocated. So, trying to bring on 4 people, we could do it, we have the work to do it, but I don't want to get into a position where we have to say, hey, you can't work this week, somebody else is going to work, and I don't really want to, bench people, if you will. So I think bringing on the top 3 candidates would benefit the office. They are internal to Newington Fire, so there's a little bit less of a learning curve as far as the town goes. And then the list will be certified, so it'll be good for a year. So if in the future there is a need and hours available, we could just, bring on the 4th person if the commission approves that.
Okay, discussion, commissioners.
I'm in favor.
I'm in.
Bring on all 3.
Absolutely.
Okay,
I see no
just,
issues.
I just want to make one point clear to the public that's watching it. So these per diem inspectors that we're bringing on, like DJ said, does not cost us any. Yes, they get paid for what they're doing, but they're using hours that are not used by the part-time employees. So they pick up the slack for any hours that aren't used by the part-time employees. So it's not, it has no effect on the budget. The budget stays the same. We could hire 10 guys and, if the money's there through the part-time funds, that's the money that these individuals use. So would somebody like to make, with that said, would somebody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion
I'll second.
that we bring on all 3 new per diem fire marshal.
Okay, motion is that all 3
The top 3.
top
just to
3
clarify,
candidates, the top 3 candidates of the last fire marshal inspectors testing process will be hired as per diem fire inspectors for the town of Newington.
You seconded it.
I
Second,
second.
all in favor?
I,
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Final thing on new business, discussions on fire department pension review.
Okay, we need to come up with a plan for the fire department pension. Right now, it is a combined pension. And that is, there's no individuals in it. It's all grouped together and then invested. So that, if we want to change that, that means, so that people could get their own individual statements, that means that's invested at that smaller amount. So if you get $1,000 a year, that's all you've got in your account is $1,000 a year. Right now, we take all of the investments and put them together and invest that, so we get a bigger return on our money. So,
But they do have the right to, I think at 10 years to pick whether it's a high risk or low risk.
right, yeah, but that's once a year. And you
Once a
only-
year,
And you only get your information based on July 1st.
once a
And
year,
October,
right.
so. It's
Um,
a little delayed, but
So I have done some looking into this because I would love to get this pension thing brought up to date. I'm sure both of you
absolutely.
know the same
Absolutely.
way. The reason why it was done the way it was done is because when you first start off in the fire department, there's not a ton of money that's invested into your part, individual part. And to keep the fees low, this is how they decided to go and do it, because they didn't want the individual in the department to have to pay a lot of fees. Where you could go on and see how much money you got, or you could go on and move it to here or move it to there. Companies charge fees for that, and they didn't want the individuals, because it's not a huge amount of money that's going into their pension account. They didn't want to have that individual incur those fees. So that's why you only get it once a year. Do you think the best course of action is for try to get a committee set up and review this? or-
Probably.
I would encourage a committee. One individual or two individuals from the commission, somebody from the command staff, and yet, maybe.
Couple,
Couple of
so like
members
one
from-
command staff member,
Yep,
one commissioner,
one commissioner.
And say-
Several members.
and
of the
one from
department.
each company, one member from each company?
My concern is when you get too many people involved,
Right,
you're gonna have too many opinions. Technically, it's the Board of Fire Commission's
Correct.
responsibility.
correct.
Yeah.
But we're not pension experts.
I'm not saying that, but you guys are in charge of the pension.
Correct.
And then we should do it at a, chief's level with the commission. I think when you start getting the membership involved, I think you're just gonna throw too many people into it. Again, it's your control, and I think that's how it should stay. I just think we need to do something. We've been talking about this for 2 years now.
Right, right.
And I think it really needs to get ramped up, because our pension hasn't been touched in.
10 years.
No, more than that, it's about
It's
20.
probably about 20 or
It's
25
about
years.
20 years, it
really
hasn't been touched.
So,
I think Chief Nadu was still here last time. we
exactly,
did
so my point is that the department members have lost quite a bit of potential.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think it's time
Well,
that,
I don't think.
I shouldn't say they're losing, but there was no growth, meaning there was nothing additional added into it. Like a percent
Oh, right,
increase, like a COLA or
Right,
anything like
Right,
that.
right, right.
So for 20-something years, there's been nothing put extra,
Right.
if you wanna say, where other pensions in town have been increased. So I think, we really need to start ramping this up to get it taken
Okay.
care of.
And I think,
It's important.
I think I had asked this question before, but I'll ask it again. I still have a hard time understanding why the fire department is separate from the town's overall pension for the employees, when all of the members of the department here are considered town employees because of,
Yeah, that I couldn't
because of
say.
what they get paid. I just find that hard to swallow, and I'm not sure I understand anything that Janet has.
I think so when I spoke to Janet and I asked her, that reason is because she said just what I said. There's fees that are incurred, and either those fees would have to get budgeted through the budget process, or the individual would have to pay the fees, which,
So there's
certainly
a lot
not
of
gonna-
different ways to look at this. Right?
yeah,
What the chief is saying is, should we increase how much we're contributing to the pension plan for the members? That's one way.
Right.
But not change
not
the way
change
we
the way it
invest
is.
it.
That's it.
See, the way we invest it now, because we're investing it as a group, we get a better return on our money, and we don't pay all those fees.
Right,
What we give up is the administrative cost of having, to be able to do it better. But there may be a company out there that could do it better, the same way we're doing it, but
do it better.
do it better than the company we have doing it now.
Right,
See real-time numbers versus
Right,
once a
and
year.
Janet,
right.
Janet doesn't like the company we're dealing, we're dealing
No,
with.
she
I should
has
say the
said-
Finance director
Yeah,
doesn't like.
she's
even
not
the
too
company
happy
we're-
with the company
we're
that's,
using, so,
yeah.
I think the hard part is that when you're making decisions, you gotta see a snapshot once a year, and you gotta make a decision. the following week.
Right,
It'd
right,
be nice to see real-time stuff.
yes,
And again, going to what you said, cost is really what comes into play there.
Right.
right.
But it'd be nice to get something going, so we're ready to rock and roll for,
And two things to explain to Frank. When they call us employees of the town, that's because that's what the labor department calls us. Because we receive some benefit from the town, we have to be considered employees.
Right.
And that only happened in the last 20 years, that the labor department has come up with this definition, that if you receive a benefit, you're an employee. So that, for town pension plan and the fire department pension plan are both older than that, and they got started separately. So that's why we're not part of the town. And most of the town employees aren't part of the police and town manager pension plan either. So,
Right, right. Because there's the police pension, there's also the administrative pension.
Right.
Or the teacher's pension. So there is a number of them in town.
So I'd like to see, I'd like to see a committee formed,
Okay.
soon, just so we can start talking about it and get moving.
Do we want to do one commissioner, one chief, one department member? Three on the committee?
Three on the committee.
no, I think we ought to do the commission and,
The chief,
the chief and whoever
Whoever's
the
in charge
chief.
of personnel.
No.
chief and whoever, so
The
the
personnel.
5 people.
Fine, yeah.
Five's a good number, it's,
Okay. 'Cause, here's a question for you though. If all 3 commissioners are on the committee,
well, I think we can form a committee and have committee meetings that aren't,
why don't we do
qualified.
one
not
one
all five.
commissioner representative,
I-
so it wouldn't constitute a meeting, and then that commissioner can bring it back to the other 2. How's that sound? That way you guys can meet,
Why
and it's not
Why
considered a
don't we,
meeting.
just to be on the safe side, reach out to the town clerk, say, hey, listen, we have a pension issue, we'd like the 3 commissioners to be involved. Is there a possibility? that we
I
can have-
believe you don't have to.
But again.
I can find out,
It'd be
and
easier to do it that way and then just move forward. Because technically you guys are in charge of it.
Yeah.
so can we table this till next month?
Yeah.
Is that
We'll
okay?
find
Yeah,
out.
I have
Table
And then
till
we'll
next
set up.
month, we'll find out, and then we'll set up.
Yeah, I have no issue
All
with that.
Okay, great, thank you. I think that's a great idea, and we'll get this ball rolling, and, hopefully we can get something done for January when, budget time, February comes around.
Okay. If not before
Okay,
that.
that's wonderful, thank you. That's it under new business.
Actually, one last thing under new business, if you don't mind to amend it, is our ISO review. Unless you want to put it under public participation, I can do it there too.
Can you do it? Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we'll have to amend the new business, so he can just do it under public participation. Which is next, so,
you're on.
public participation for the second time. If anyone would like to speak to the commission publicly, we're happy to hear from you, online or in person. So we're at public participation for the second time. Chief Trummer.
Chief Regina?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about ASO? Since you were in the meeting?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we've continued to have our discussion with ISO. Sarah's on vacation this week and her boss is on next week. Her intent is when they're back together, is to get us on to get his okay to reopen it up. It was 2 years ago that we did the last one, so normally it would not happen this, but based on the last meeting we had with her, she won't commit to where we are, but she was doing numbers in her head and doing numbers on the thing that we're pretty confident we're gonna pull it off. We have a lot of things going on that we're just trying to fine tune, and we're trying to put together some additional documentation and such. There's things that I think I mentioned that we haven't done in the past. All the training, the fire service instructor training as an example is coming up. 16 of 18 are our members. The 48 hours of time will be added in as outside training. So their training numbers are going to go off the wall, but which is fine.
How big is that to them?
Training is one of the biggest.
Trainings, they're
Yeah.
one of their what's their biggest things, Chief?
Water was in the
Documentation, really.
MDC was the biggest, along with
Apparatus.
training and then apparatus.
apparatus.
But, so just Chief Regina, Chief Stegmeyer, Chief Lapierre met with, our ISO rep. They were super impressed with us. We were the only town that has ever come up with, they asked for MDC high flow testing. We're the only department around that has ever produced an updated version of the 5 year that flow testing. Most people just say, yeah, we'll just deal with it. We actually, she even asked for a little bit more paperwork and we were able to get it produced the next day. So I appreciate the work that the MDC did for us because that was a lot of legwork in the background. And I appreciate
How
that.
many hydrants did they test?
26.
Yeah.
I think it's 26.
So that was 26 hydrants that an employee from the MDC had to come out, literally inspect the hydrant and literally
Do a
flow
flow test.
water out of it.
And it's done with two.
So that's a big job and kudos
done
to
with-
MDC.
It's done with 2 hydrants. That's how they do the test. And there's a whole bunch, there's a process to it. Those hydrants are all in red NMX. We also, what we did for our pre-plans is we've identified those hydrants. So we know exactly why she picked those, because it's like Patterson or, those types of certain commercial buildings and such. So we've identified them for our purposes as we're doing our paperwork. Lieutenant Pats has been helping on that. Maya Lunga is gonna actually be doing some other stuff because I'm changing the way we report some things within the training thing that makes more sense to her than it does. So there's 8 categories basically that we've identified. And a lot like how you actually do your building construction or how you needs to go into a certain area so that it adds up properly and she can see it all now. So those details are all in the system.
And I will say, since we went to Red NMX, the information is so much more at our fingertips than it used to be.
Right.
Before it used to be a lot harder, but as we're inputting it, it's much easier to use. And that's kudos to the farm marshal's office also, because some of the building stuff is in there. So it's actually been an excellent program to have that we're working with.
Yeah, and you know what, Bobby, I'm surprised that wasn't on here this month, our red MMX, but
No, we took it off because
we did take it off.
I mean, there's
okay,
stuff that we're doing. I mean,
But that's still going, can we say flawlessly?
No, we got a burp the other day, but we have an issue. John Hoffman and I have brought it up again just recently. The way they do their updates ever since the day we bought it. If, as an example, Martin Ball's got a report that needs to be done. They make the modifications to it and then they do an update. Well, somebody else may be doing an update for something else and something gets overwritten, something happens with the system and then we get a little burp. So there was a burp the other day that affected the fire marshal's office, but didn't affect anybody else.
Okay.
But they were down for a day. So,
Wow.
so that got corrected. John was on top of it the whole time. So, we sort of put them on notice that just can't happen. So we're gonna try to, they're growing still. That's really the problem.
Now, is the fire marshal's office using the red MMX with a tablet or whatever when you do your inspection?
No,
Is that available in the red MMX so that when you?
Yeah.
Do we need to look into that to make the fire marshal's job easier so they can do their inspection with their tablet and that all downloads right into it?
we had a meeting yesterday. I don't even know what day it is. Yeah, sometime this week we had a meeting with them. And it's a very new platform for them. We have some questions. The laptops we have from the town will eventually have cell service in them. So it might be better and easier to stay with the laptops. But
Okay,
we have explored it and they're trying to answer some questions for us.
okay. Which program, are you using a program now?
It's all red NMX.
It's all.
It's just you could create a checklist, go out on the iPad and do an inspection. It's just what happens with that inspection and how it's saved and sent to business owners or property owners.
Okay,
And I think they said it was only the last couple months that they developed it.
all right,
So
great. If there's anything, like I was telling the chief before, that the commission can do to help you with our.
Our biggest thing is just, once she says they've blessed it, we'll get a date on when we'll meet.
Now, will they come in and go through everything?
Yeah, she's already seen some things, so she's already checked them off as being completed.
Okay,
We've done we still have a good amount of pre-plans on paper. Eventually, they will all be in the system, but she saw all the pre-plans that we've updated, because I've got lists of them that we've been.
is there anything we can do to, like, when they come down to have firefighters and,
No,
Less,
You know.
less people the better.
better. Okay.
I just
Alright.
like.
We're gonna put out requests for more information. I know the fire marshal's gonna have to do some things, because there's a big.
I didn't know if they had to go toward the trucks and go through all the equipment, if we had
No.
firemen helping them.
No,
take
we're
stuff
making, no,
out.
we were shy on some parts and we were shy on hose clamps. So chief gave the direction to Chief G and Sandy to go get them on the apparatus, because the 4 pieces need to have those devices. Hose clamps. So we will make sure
That
they're
we
on
were
the
taught in the
apparatus, 'cause
80s.
we got a little ding on that one, on last time around, why there was no salvage covers.
Okay,
So,
all right.
but
Thank you, chief.
we're hitting everything that we're doing.
All I could say is there's a lot of hard work that's went in over the last year for training purposes, documentation and so forth. And it's tremendous. All the chiefs have worked extremely hard along with the membership to make sure everything is inputted correctly. And hats off to all of them, because there was a ton of work put into it. So it's been a goal of ours, and hopefully we're almost to the end.
Awesome. Well, let us know what we can do to help you out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public participation? Public participation?
No,
Anybody online?
No,
Did we
ever public like Mike Chapman?
Oh, we did it.
I think they did it.
But I'll bring it up.
But just, I just want to thank Mike Chapman from Firematic, who was our sales rep, for how many years?
1995.
Yeah, so he started with our original Rescue One. That was the first piece we started with. And he's went through all the way up to Truck 2 and actually Engine 2. That's on order right now. He recently retired. We can't thank him enough for his direction and professionalism with everything that we did with him.
He's been very helpful.
Great guy.
Very, very helpful.
Absolute great man.
And just very knowledgeable on the apparatus and the needs of what he knows our needs really well and helped us through the process.
Yeah.
So I can't thank him enough, and, happy retirement and best of luck to him.
Yeah, he's in South Carolina, enjoying it, and
how many years?
I don't know if he enjoyed it this last week.
yeah. My
He-
son's there
He
too.
started with us in 1994.
Him and Joe.
So 30 years.
Thank you, Mike. You'll be missed. You were a great friend, and if I get down to South Carolina, I'll look you up. Any other public participation? That's it. Okay, commissioners' remarks. Commissioners?
Oh, you want me to start?
No,
I don't have a problem. I'll start it off.
Okay,
I've said this before and I'll say it again. Every time we have a commission meeting and I go through these reports, and I know that I may nitpick every once in a while and I don't read the whole report because I don't see that there's a reason to read from beginning to end, and I just kind of pick a few things out. The command staff here just amazes me as to what each and every one of the command staff does on a daily basis, including the firefighters, men and women. So my hat is off to you. We've completed another year. This is, after July 1, 2024. I'm just amazed at how over the last couple of years, looking at these reports, to the number of calls that we keep getting involved in. And I can only see that our numbers will be increasing probably over the next 5 to 10 years, if not beyond that. So just keep doing what you're doing, because as far as I'm concerned, it's an awesome and incredible job done by everyone here. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Spatter.
I do have a point, since Bobby brought up, the hose testing and that, I think I saw where we're changing our, PMP to include, pre-planning instead of
Post
the
that.
hose testing.
Yeah, so the reason we're doing that is because, we are actually having an outside company come in to do our hose testing now. It's actually a, company that used to be called Failsafe. It's now called, I forget the exact name, but, they're gonna come in and do our hose testing, so now to be able to give the credit for hose tests that we normally did, we're now encouraging members to go out and do free plans, which would help us, you know, understand buildings, know where stuff is in the buildings, and it helps us also get it into Red and Max, ISO, all that stuff.
And I think that's a good thing. I think that's positive. But don't we have to update our rules and regs for the PMP for the process?
I think we're left.
Yes, that was an open-ended thing when we did the rules and regulations, that once we got that in, that we would have to readdress it. So yes, we will have to sit down.
No, you don't, because the PMPs now fall under the operations of the fire department, not under the rules and regulations of the commission. We changed that.
Oh, you're right.
Okay, he's going back to his desk now.
I guess he told us, right?
Go back and feed the squirrels.
I guess he told us.
His heart still, I'm gonna go check his heart.
But we will put something together to actually, you know, spell it out, how it's done.
Yeah,
Yes,
well then, rephrasing, that has to put the,
into our SOP, yes,
we gotta update. the PMP.
correct.
I think that what we're doing with the ISO is fabulous. I think what we've done with, everything is going very well. I do appreciate all the people that have moved on, Timmy LaPierre and Mike Chapman, and wish them well in their new adventures. I think
Thank you.
that's all.
Thank you, Commissioner. Just a couple of quick things. I'd like to thank everybody for a great like being an extravaganza. It was a great showing from the fire department. I got many comments from people. The fireworks were great. Everybody did their job. There was no injuries, no catastrophic losses. It was all wonderful. And I know I myself enjoy taking the engine over to our little spot every year to for fire protection, and it went off without a hitch, I believe. And also thank the fire marshal's office, because I know they have the lion's share of the work of that. Thank you. It shows that we're out there and the public cares about us. The other thing I like to say is that a year from now, we are going to be having our officers come up for next July 1st. So I personally would like to encourage all the firefighters in this department that have the time and the education and the willingness to get whatever you need to get. You got a year to do it. And I encourage every one of you to apply for our captains and our lieutenants, and I wish you the best in the next year to so that you can make the list. Encourage every single one of you, like I said, that has the time and the education to do it. It's great. I was an officer here for many years. It's very rewarding. And with that said, I'd like to make a motion. We're not adjourning. Resolved that the Newington Fire Commission, in accordance with CGS section 12006A, hereby moves to go into executive session and invites Commissioner Brian Whalen, Commissioner Ken Stoddard, Commissioner DeMayo, Fire Marshal DJ Zordan and Assistant Fire Marshal John Hoffman discuss deputy fire marshal evaluations. I have a second.
I will second that motion.
Okay, the Newington Fire Marshal is hereby moves to go into executive session and invites Commissioners Whalen, Commissioner Stoddard, Commissioner DeMayo, and Fire Marshal DJ Zordan and Fire Marshal John Hoffman into executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Folks, thank you for coming.
See, because
Oh,
this
and
came
the
up with,
voice?
It's on. It's on.
Okay, we are back from, executive, I'd like to have a motion to, adjourn, come back from executive session and adjourn the meeting.
I would like to make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a motion, we come back from executive session and then adjourn the meeting.
Okay,
And there's a second on my part.
okay, thank you for a second. All in favor of
Aye.
adjournment at 8:58 PM.
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
thank you, unanimous.
Okay.
Aye.